Alright, so good to be back. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Setson. In today's tutorial, we're going to look at building applications using Excel. Here we have an application. We have two worksheets. The first one is the main, which is going to be our user interface. And then we have the other one called data, which is going to be our database. So we want to automate entering information into our database. So our database has got three columns. We have the ID column, the name column, and the email column. The ID column is going to be auto-generated for us. We're going to provide the name and the email, right? So this is how it's going to work. We go to our main, we click on this enter details. So this is our user interface. So we click on that. And then we have this form which pops up right here. So we can enter information here. So let's say Satson, and then my email is going to be me@gmail.com. Then if I click on save, this pops up with the confirm dialog box and said, do you want to save the data? Yes. If I close this and go to my data, you can see now I have entry one, which is Setson, and then me@gmail.com. So this is basically how your application is going to work. So our tutorial is going to be in three parts. The first part is creating this user interface. And then the second part is going to be writing the logic for the application. And then the third part is going to be polishing up our application. All right, so let's get down to business and see how we can go about it. So I want you to open your Excel application. Once you open your Excel application, I want you to go to File, Blank Workbook. Then click on that blank workbook. We want to create a new workbook. We want to go to File, and then we want to save this workbook. So Save As, click on Save As, and then you can save it anywhere on your computer. I'm going to save mine in my documents, and then I'm going to name this tutorial. But you can name it whatever you want. Here, save as type. Select where it says Excel macro enabled workbook. So click on that and then save. So down here, we only have one worksheet. Right? Go over where it says sheet 1 down here at the bottom. Sheet 1, right click, and then you want to rename this. Rename this to home, which is going to be your user interface. Want to add another worksheet? We need two worksheets. So on this plus button down here, click on that and then right click and then rename. And then we want to name this database. All right, so we have the home worksheet and the database worksheet. In the home worksheet, this is where we're going to be creating our user interface. Make sure you have this home selected. Then you go up here on view. We want to do away with the grid lines. You can see all these grid lines right here, these cells that we see. If you uncheck these grid lines, then it's gone, right? And then we want to go back to home, under home, and then make sure you come up to the top left corner. You can see there's a triangle right here where my mouse is, below A1 right here, and then click right there. After you select the whole worksheet, we want to go to this paint bucket right here. We want to change the color, the background color of this worksheet. So I'm going to go with dark blue color. So click on that. You can see right here now the background color is changed. I'm going to insert a shape and I'm going to insert an oval. After I select that oval, then I can drag on the worksheet right here. And then you can see now we have this oval shape right here. So I'm going to add some effects on it. Have your shape selected first, and then you will see the tab right here. Click on shape format and then go to shape effects. Then we want to go to the first one, preset, and then go to the fourth preset. I'm sure it's preset 4. Select that. You can see. All right, and then inside the shape we want to add some text, so we can just double click in there and then we can say enter information. Now we can go to the home. So we want to middle align our texts, and then we want to center it, so like that. And we also want to change the font size. So I think 36 or 40 is okay. So you can see right here. So we want them to click this and then get access to the form where they will enter the information. But for now, we don't have the form. We just have this and we are good. So we're going to move on to our database, right? This is where we're going to store our information. So in our database, the A column, I'm going to go with ID there, and then we need a name, and then we need an email. So this is the information that we want from our user. The ID is going to be auto-generated. The name, of course, we're going to provide, and the email. We need to select these three columns, insert, and then table. Click on table. And then this dialog box will pop up, and then you want to check this box right here where it says my table has headers. Select that, and then click OK. I can increase the font size here so that you guys can see. So this is the table where we're going to store information. information. So we are done with this, and we are also done with this user interface. I want you to activate the developer tab right here, because you might not have the developer tab up here. So on file, you need to go to options down here on customize ribbon, and then make sure you have main tabs selected, and then you go to check the developer tab right here, this box right here. Make sure you have it checked, and then click on OK, and then you will be able to see the tab right here. So with that done, now we're going to move on to creating our form. Let me take you to the sample again. If we click this, you can see this form which is popping up. This is the one that we want to create now. I'm going to go back right here, and then make sure you're on developer, and then go to Visual Basic right here. So click on Visual Basic. So you have your workbooks. So I have two workbooks open, this experiment and then this tutorial. So we are working on this tutorial. So make sure you have tutorial selected, and then you go to insert, and then want to insert a user form. So click on user form, and then we have our user form. And so on this user form, we have the properties of this user form. We have the name, the back color, and all the information for this user form. So we can change a couple of things. First is going to be the caption, this thing that you see up here. So we're going to change that to enter information. We also have to change the width and the height. You can manually change it by hovering over and then expanding these, or you can search for the height right here. So I'm going to set this to 300. The width down here is going to be 300. And then we have this toolbox right here. If you cannot see this toolbox right here, you can click this icon up here where it says toolbox, or you can go to view, and then you have toolbox right here. Right, so we're going to start with the label. So I'm going to click on the labels. Make sure the label is selected, and then click on the form. And you see there's a label right here, and then you click inside it. Don't double click, or you can just select it and then come here, label information, and then you go to caption, and then you can change that to name. You can also change other properties, the font size. So go to font, you can see right here. So you can see we can change it to bold and to 10, and then we can click OK. And then we can also change the back style. I want it to be transparent, so you could just double click right here, or you can click on this arrow. There are two options, the opaque or transparent. So we need the transparent. All right, with this done, select this and then Control C and then Control V. You have the second label right here. So the name label is going to be up here. This is going to be our email, so we can change it with it selected. Come down to the caption again, and then you can name this email. Select both by hitting the control key, clicking on both of these, and then you can go to format, and then you can align their centers. Right, the next thing we need to add here on the form is the text box. So click on that text box. Of course, you can hover over and it will tell you what icon this is. Click inside here, and then we want to increase the size of this thing right here. We need to change the name of this thing right here. You can see where it says name on the properties, name _txt. You are not allowed to put spaces on this name, right? And then the next thing is Control C and Control V, and then we duplicate this thing right here. For the email part, we can change this to email _txt. You can select them, control, and then select them, and then format, align centers. Here we need to add a button, so command button. So it's right here, click on that, and then click in the form, and then you have your command button right here. With your command button selected, you need to change the caption. Save, we can change the text. I need it to be bold, so Tahoma, bold and 10, okay, and then you can see. Make sure your button is selected, Control C, Control V. Let me give it a caption of reset. And then I'm going to change the back color of this button. Let me change it to green. Green is associated with saving. I'm also going to change the fore color, which is the text color, to white. Red. I'm going to change this fore color to a light color. Okay, so yep, we have finished designing our form. So I can run this up here. You can see there's a run user form or sub. So I'm going to run this form. As you can see, we have our form right here. This is just a simple design. This is for educational purposes. So in our next tutorial, we're going to look at the logic. If you do like this video, you can leave a like, leave a comment. You can also consider subscribing to the channel. I hope to see you in my next tutorial. For now, I'm out. Cheers.